Hello, welcome back to another video of What's Up Doc. This is part 4 of the series that I call The Process. And as I mentioned in other videos, this 4-part series is for dental students or whoever is interested in getting into dentistry, some kind of a guideline of what to do after graduation and how to do it. How do you approach life? How do you approach a profession practicing dentistry? So a little bit of a story history, since I like to tell stories. Dentistry had a bad rep through history. Everywhere that, first of all, there's really not a whole lot of why is that, but there's many stories that refers to why dentistry had a bad rep and continues to have a bad rep. So during the Civil War, the American Civil War, the 1861 through 63, we needed a lot of soldiers. Everybody fought. Everybody from all different walks of life and from all different professions joined the war to fight. One of the professions that a lot of barbers, a lot of these soldiers had experience cutting hair, suturing, cuts, because when they shave, they can cut somebody. They know how to mend the wound. They know how to manage trauma. Even the barbers in some towns, they are basically the clinic center. There was a lot of the urban rural area, especially when the migration happened from the east to the west, the gold rush in the United States. There were not a lot of doctoring. There's not a lot of nursing. There was not a lot of, plus there was no, antibiotics, obviously. But so they went to the barber, because the barber uses sharp tools every single day, and they are very skilled how to shave and how to cut without hurting anybody. So if you had trauma, if you had injury in those areas that there's no hospital, there's no really doctors, they used to go to the barber, and then the barbers will mend them. They will suture them, and they will take care of their wound. And they do, they basically relied a lot of, herbal stuff, especially in the rural area of the United States, is covering herbs from the Native Americans and mend it into those formulas. And those, what a lot of the healing chemicals came from basically nature. So anyway, so those barbers, when they joined the Civil War and they fought Civil War, and then they got out after the war, they went back to their towns, and they still practicing, being a barber. But also what they gained from the war is how to amputate, how to seal a wound, how to suture, how to act on an emergency situation during war. So some of them got into dentistry too, because if you have a toothache, you went to the barber and he just pulled it, because that's what they were trained on in combat, during the war, to do certain things that they're not used to, they're not comfortable with, because they had to, because there's no medics or enough medics or doctors. They could not keep up with stuff. So these guys came back with that experience, and then their reputation got built, and it grew into, like, if you have a toothache, go to the barber. But what that did is give us the stigma of dentistry. If you have a toothache, don't go. It's going to hurt. They're going to pull the tooth. They're going to cut you. They're going to make it worse. And that just built up as dentistry, the dental profession grew and became a lot more professional and a lot more science-based, and we got into the research and dental materials and stuff. Unfortunately, that stigma did not change. People have still the white coat syndrome, which comes from medical. It's like, oh my God, they're gonna hurt me. The moment you say doctor, it's like, oh my God, I'm gonna go in with a cut. I'm gonna leave with surgery. So it was the trust issue on that profession. And the reason why I mention this, because dental school does not get you trained and get you ready to deal with that stigma. They might mention it here and there, but you don't really understand and realize the intensity of the public stigma towards dentistry, and that's what keeps patient from getting better, and that's what keeps patient from being compliant, and that's what keeps patient from committing to their oral health and dental health. We are trying to change that. We are raising the new generation. We are raising the future in a way that to say to the public, hey, you don't have to be hurting to take care of the oral health. You don't have to be traumatized in order to keep or maintain your oral health or your dental health. This is going to be easy and a great experience. We're trying to build a better experience for the new generation. We're getting there, but it's very, very slow, because remember, the new generation parents are the ones that had the older generation dentistry. And then their grandparents had even much like primitive methods of dealing with decay, with dealing with in all kinds of abscesses, infection, tooth extraction, so forth and so on. So dental school does not prep you for that. You have to work on it on your own when you get out there, and then get a position, whether associate position or a partnership position, or like I said in the previous video, you join the military, get your experience from there, or DSOs or residency. Those three programs are going to help you gain the speed, help you gain the public experience in order, like I said previously, to navigate through the public needs. What the public wants and the public need are two different things. I would like, and I'm hoping with everything that I'm doing right now, to leave something behind for everybody in order to tip the scale on the reputation that dentistry gets and the bad rep dentistry gets. Honestly, it's not that easy, because like I mentioned previously in other videos, that dentistry is very intimate. We're dealing with one of the most intimate parts of our body, which is the mouth. And the mouth has a lot of secrets, and the mouth has a lot of needs, and the mouth has a lot of challenges, and everybody's different. Even every tooth is different. So how are we going to train the new generation, the new dentists in dental school, in order to prepare them to deal with that stigma, in order to deflect all that coming at them from patients like, oh, doc, don't touch me. You only worry about money. Oh, doc, I know that's why you want to take my tooth out, because you want to make more money. I know that's why you want to, or recommending a root canal or recommending crown, because it's all about money. So the stigma is, you're going to hurt me and you're going to take a lot of money from me. What we're trying to do is we're trying to rebuild the reputation that we are on your side. What's important to you matters to us. But at the same time, we have a responsibility towards our profession to give the people our expertise and our feedback, and build that trust and bridge between the trust of the public and what our professions need to do in order to keep everybody happy. Remember, when patient comes to you, they come to you. You don't go around and knocking on people's doors like, do you have a toothache? Do you have a toothache? Do you have a toothache? Patient come to us. People come to us. They reach out to us. We advertise and they come through. So if they come through, you need to be ready, and we have to be ready by knowing what kind of relationship you want to build with that patient, or with the public, or with the community. Because dentists are known, like I said, the barber story, they were very heavily woven within the community, because like I said, any situation, in emergent situation, they ran to the barber. But unfortunately, the stigma from lack of, obviously, tools, lack of medication, lack of techniques, it was barbaric. It was, a lot of it was traumatizing, I'm sure, and that just walked through history. So again, in order to prep yourself to deal with that stigma, you need to trust the process, and you need to go through life. You need to stumble, pick yourself up, start all over again, have the experience. The experience might be rough, the experiences might be uncomfortable. Like I said, get comfortable with the uncomfortable. But if you don't do that, you are gonna have a hard time trying to change the stigma or work with the stigma in general in order to achieve and create a career and have a living out of that career, and then have a family and support your family with that career. It's a job. You don't understand. Dentistry is a job. Treating teeth every single day, it's a full-time job. It's our job, that job that makes us money in order for us to live. How you want to live, that's a different story. But that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.